Deep inside the forests of Europe and Asia lives a small animal with an extraordinary talent. The Eurasian red squirrel, known in German as the Eichhörnchen, spends much of its life high above the forest floor. To us, the treetops may look dangerous. A single mistake could mean a long fall, but to a squirrel, branches are like roads in the sky. Its sharp claws grip rough tree bark, while powerful hind legs allow it to launch itself from one branch to another. Its long, bushy tail helps with balance and can assist in controlling its body while jumping. A squirrel can race headfirst down a tree trunk, leap across gaps between branches, and change direction with remarkable speed. But its beautiful tail has another purpose. During cold weather, the squirrel can curl its tail around its body like a warm blanket. And life in the forest is not simply about climbing and playing. Every day brings a struggle to find food, avoid predators, survive storms and freezing winters, and prepare for the next generation. But every squirrel begins its life very differently. Before it becomes an acrobat of the forest, it begins as a tiny, helpless baby, hidden inside a warm nest high above the ground. And that is where our story truly begins. High in the branches of a tree, hidden beneath leaves and needles, the mother squirrel prepares a special home for her babies. This nest is called a dray. From the outside, it may look like a simple ball of twigs and leaves, but inside it is carefully lined with soft materials such as moss, grass, bark, and leaves to keep the babies warm and protected. After a pregnancy of about 5 to 6 weeks, the mother gives birth to a small litter. The newborn squirrels are completely helpless. They are tiny, blind, deaf, and almost completely hairless. They cannot climb trees, search for food, or escape from danger. For now, their entire world is the warm darkness of the nest. Their mother provides everything they need. She nurses them with milk, keeps them warm, cleans them, and guards the nest from danger. Outside, the forest is filled with predators, cold nights, heavy rain, and powerful winds. But inside the dray, the young squirrels slowly begin to change. Their fur starts to grow, their ears develop. Eventually, their eyes begin to open. And for the first time, they are about to discover that beyond the walls of their tiny nest, an enormous forest is waiting for them. As the days pass, the tiny squirrels begin to transform. Their once bare bodies become covered with soft fur. Their ears open, their eyes begin to see, and their small tails slowly grow thicker and fluffier. Inside the safety of the dray, the young squirrels become increasingly curious. They crawl over one another, explore the edges of the nest, and begin using their tiny claws to grip the twigs around them. Their mother continues to nurse and protect them, but soon milk alone will no longer be enough. As they grow stronger, they begin preparing for a completely different life. A life of climbing, jumping, searching for food, and escaping predators high in the trees. Their claws become stronger, their hind legs develop powerful muscles, and their famous bushy tails begin to become important tools for balance. Soon, curiosity draws them toward the entrance of the nest. For the first time, they can see sunlight shining through the branches and hear the sounds of the enormous forest outside, but leaving the nest means leaving safety behind. Their first great adventure is about to begin. The day finally arrives. After weeks of growing safely inside the dray, the young squirrel carefully approaches the entrance and steps into the outside world. At first, everything is unfamiliar. The branches move beneath its feet. The wind shakes the leaves, and the forest floor seems frighteningly far below. But the young squirrel was born for life in the trees. Its sharp, curved claws grip tightly onto the bark. Its powerful hind legs help it climb, while its long tail acts as a counterbalance as it moves along narrow branches. At first, its movements are slow and cautious, but with practice, confidence grows. Soon, it begins running along branches, climbing tree trunks and attempting its first small jumps. Every jump is a lesson. It learns how far it can leap, where to place its feet, and how to use its tail to help control its body in the air. But exploring the forest also introduces something completely new. Danger. High above, birds of prey may be watching. On the ground, other predators may be waiting. The young squirrel must learn quickly, because from this moment forward, survival depends on becoming faster, smarter, and more careful every single day, and soon it will face another challenge, finding its own food and learning where to hide it. As summer begins to fade and autumn arrives, the forest becomes filled with food. For the young squirrel, this is the season of preparation. It searches the trees and forest floor for hazelnuts, acorns, seeds, berries, fungi, and the seeds hidden inside pine cones. But the squirrel does not eat everything it finds. Instead, it begins doing something remarkable. It carries food away and hides it in many different places. Beneath leaves, inside the soil, between tree roots, and in cracks in the bark. These hidden supplies are called food caches. Rather than keeping everything in one place, a squirrel may scatter its food across many hiding spots. This way, if another animal discovers one cache, the others may remain safe. But months later, when winter covers the forest and fresh food becomes difficult to find, how does the squirrel locate these hidden treasures again? It uses a combination of memory and its powerful sense of smell to search for its buried food. It will not recover every single nut, and those forgotten seeds can sometimes survive, germinate, and grow into new plants or trees. Without realizing it, the squirrel may help shape the very forest that keeps it alive. But soon autumn will disappear. The temperature will fall, food will become scarce, and snow may cover the ground. And unlike some small mammals, the red squirrel cannot simply sleep through the entire winter. It must face the cold awake. Winter arrives and the forest changes completely. The green landscape disappears beneath frost and snow. Temperatures fall, daylight becomes shorter, and many of the foods that were everywhere during autumn become difficult to find. But the red squirrel does not truly hibernate. Instead, it remains active throughout the winter. Although during severe weather, it may spend long periods sheltered inside its warm dray, its thick winter coat helps protect its body from the cold, while its enormous bushy tail can be curled around its body like a blanket. But staying warm requires energy, and that means finding food. Now the secret stores it created during autumn become extremely important. The squirrel searches beneath snow and fallen leaves, using memory and its powerful sense of smell to relocate nuts and seeds hidden months earlier. On calmer winter days, it leaves its shelter and searches the frozen forest for food. But every journey costs precious energy, and winter brings another danger. With fewer leaves covering the branches, the squirrel becomes easier for predators to see. High above the trees, sharp eyes may already be watching. The squirrel has survived hunger and freezing temperatures, but now it must survive something even more dangerous. The hunters of the forest. The circle of life is about to begin again. The forest may be the squirrel's home, but it is also home to animals that hunt it. Danger can come from above, waiting for the right moment to attack, through the forest or catch. But the squirrel has powerful defenses of its own. When danger appears, it can race around a tree trunk and disappear into the dense canopy, while its powerful hind legs give it explosive acceleration. Sometimes, instead of immediately running, remaining perfectly still while watching the threat. One wrong movement can be fatal. Spring will return to the forest. Helpless baby will now be ready to begin a family of its own. Every time a red squirrel leaves the protection of its nest, it must remain alert. Birds of prey can silently watch from the sky or from high branches. Other predators can pursue squirrels, them when they venture closer to the ground. Its greatest weapon is agility. Suddenly change direction, leap between branches. Its sharp claws allow it to grip bark securely. Its long tail helps it maintain balance during rapid turns and difficult jumps. A squirrel may freeze against the trunk of a tree. Every escape is a battle between speed, instinct, and timing. But if the squirrel survives these dangers, another season will eventually arrive, and the squirrel that once entered the world as a tiny spring returns to the forest. The snow melts, fresh leaves appear, and the trees once again become filled with food and life. The little squirrel we followed from birth is now fully grown. After surviving its first winter and escaping the many dangers of the forest, it is ready to begin the next chapter of its life. During the breeding season, male squirrels may chase females through the treetops in fast and spectacular pursuits. Eventually, a female prepares a safe dray for her young, carefully building and lining it to protect the next generation. Several weeks later, tiny babies are born. Just like their mother once was, they enter the world helpless, blind, almost hairless, and completely dependent on her protection. And so the story begins again. Soon their eyes will open, their fur will grow. They will approach the entrance of the nest and see the enormous forest for the first time. They too will learn to climb, leap between branches, hide food, survive winter, and escape predators. The squirrel's life may seem small compared with the vast forest around it, but every hidden seed, every daring leap, and every new generation becomes part of that forest's continuing story. From a helpless baby inside, a tiny nest, to an extraordinary acrobat among the trees, this is the remarkable life of the red squirrel,